Yo, traders, good morning. Good morning. Market is open. I didn't realize we were that close to the opening bell. All right, first thing we're going to take a look at. Let's just dive right into it. I'm actually missing an indicator right here. How can I miss an indicator? I don't know. I don't understand how that works. Interesting. Okay, so what we're looking at here, folks, is are we inside or outside the narrowest range of the last 7 days? We are inside. So we're going to use the Keltner channels on the 2-minute chart. Wow, that's messy. Elijah, did you have a chance to get the updated? No, you didn't because we can see all the lines. Okay, that's okay. We're going to use the Keltner channels on the 2-minute chart. All right. So with that being said, we're outside of those now. We're getting through that 62 level on the 15-minute. As you can see, they've touched it several times through here. And so then now we're looking at the 70s level to see if we can get through that. All right, but before we get to that stuff, let's go back to it is really warm in here. Oh my God. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the larger time frames. Now, as you guys remember through all the videos we're watching, either it goes straight up through all-time highs, straight down to these levels here, or it's going to go sideways, which would run time off the clock, and that is how the market makers make their money. Let's go to the 4 hour. I hate looking at the 4 hour. I want to remind everyone that only losers add to losing trades. All right, we're getting really tight here on the 4 hour. So we really need to watch these levels because if we go outside of them, do we come back in? Right now it is 75, 35, 75, and 75, 83. So that's a pretty big bracket. That's about a 50 to 48 point bracket where we can just kind of chop back and forth between it. And we can see the wider bracket on the 4 hour chart, which I believe was Thursday. Yeah, Thursday's wide bracket. So the question is, do we get above it or do we not get above it? Here's the deal. We don't know the answer. We don't know the answer. We're going to wait and find out. I do want to point out both of these spikes have held the spread and the crime scene. So these are major, major levels. Let's go to the 2 hour. Same thing, getting really, really tight here, getting real tight. Let's go to the 1 hour. Noise, noise everywhere. There's noise. Okay, 15 minutes, kind of showing the same thing. Well, that's the 45 minute. Let's go to the 15. All right, so the 7562 is our over under. And then the other one is the high to high trend line that we have right here. That also, look at the one touch here. Do they get through it or do they hold it back? Do we not get to it? Um, First thing I want to point out is they did some buying on the opening bell. Okay, next thing we're going to take a look at. We're going to take a look at the price VWAP 200. Okay, so we can see the 2 minutes backwards. We want price, VWAP, and 200 all in consecutive order. We do not have that, like right here. Okay, let's go to the 5. Okay, that's in order. That's the correct way. So if we get a buy, well, let's see. If we had a buy signal somewhere right here, that might be a really good buy to where we start taking the smaller time frame longs. Because what we want is we want paint to push up through and turn both of them the same slope. So does this 5 minute bar close and turn blue, yellow, or pink? We'll be watching that on the 5 minute. Let's go to the 15 minute here. This might be the ace in the hole. There's your 5 minute. All right. So now, how do we get in, right? Because we have exactly what I just said. Look at that. They sold it instantly. This is interesting. This is very, very, very interesting. Let's turn this off for a minute because it looks absolutely ridiculously crazy. Okay. So what we're looking for is exactly what's happening. Okay, but how do we get in? We get in on a smaller time frame, right? Because now it's telling us that the bulls could be in control, could be in control. So what are we looking for? Well, the first thing that we have to remember is if we go back to the 15-minute chart, 62, 63 is our over under. And so does it hold this level? Does it push back through? We don't know. Let's see if we have anything. Well, there's a trade. Okay, so now this sell is going directly against the 5 minute that we just said was long. So I'm just going to wait. That's not my money. You see that? That's an instant winner. See that? But see what screws it up is all the other charts are bullish. So we just don't take the trade, right? I mean, it's that simple. Either it's our money or it's not. Now on this, these are our entries. I have my chiropractor sitting here. He's got an office next to mine. He's definitely interested in this kind of stuff. So he's going to sit with us here for a minute, and then he's going to go on his own. All right. Now what makes me really leery about sells is we have price VWAP 200. That's what we want to trade. This right here is a full-blown buy signal hard. So this bow tie right here, price VWAP 200. So you're looking to enter anywhere right here. Your stop is underneath this. And then what we do is we wait. And so everything is fractal. I've been telling you about fractals, right? So if it starts on the 15 minute, you take the next five, you take the next two, you take the next one, you take the next 10 range. If it starts in the 10 range and moves to the 1 minute, moves to the 5 minute, so 2 minute. Look at this here, everybody. We could have an absolute fucking reversal if this all turns and this paints. This negates the five, and so this is the 2 minute. This negates the 5 and the 15. It just tells us to just chill. Now, what I see that tells us to be very careful, everybody. Let me turn this off. Okay, we remember 62, 63 on the 15-minute chart, but let's go ahead and turn off all of these white and yellow lines. And I want to show you this Charlie Foxtrot right here. What in the hell is that bar doing? Look at that. We just went from 73 to 53 instantly. This thing's got to calculate out here. There's a lot of data that we're putting on there. Okay, so notice that even though this bar is bullish, it is actually a sell bar, which is very, very concerning to me. So therefore, if we have every time frame telling us something different, what does it tell us to do, fam? Nothing. That's right. Mike says, wait, that's the correct answer. It's not our money. Now, as clean as beautiful as we would have loved to short that, your 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute, and 15 minutes say, yeah, meh, meh. And this is where people mess up. They see this on the smallest time frame and they go, oh yeah, that's the beginning of it. It's like, is it? We don't know. I mean, yes, in this case it was, but when you have everything else telling you, your 15 minutes bullish, 5 minutes bullish, whatever, and then your 2 minutes like, meh. It's like, well, you just wait. There's going to be many opportunities where it all lines up. This is where I went wrong last week because I didn't wait. I was trying to participate. And so the one thing, everybody, that I'm going to bring up is I want everyone to remember that the way that this works is we have to be the observer. We can't be the participant all the time. We have to be the observer. And the way that works is if we're too busy being the participant, how do we participate accordingly? Well, the only way to do that is by being the observer. All right, our delta, which is this one right here, Mike. The delta is absolutely sideways, non-existent. Okay, so Mike, what this is it's a net number, so it starts at zero. If you have one purchase at the offer, if you have one purchase at the offer, it goes up net one. If you have one purchase at the bid, it goes down net one. If you have one buy and one sell, it's nil. And so what we're looking at here is the flow of whether they're buying on the offer or selling on the bid. That's what we're actually looking at, right? So here they buy it. And so what we're looking for is, well, if they bought it on the offer, which would be the aggressive, taking it from the limit, we say, well, did the price do the same thing? Well, in this case, it did. But see, notice how price went way down. This kind of went down, but now look, it's going back towards the high. So therefore, they have found value and they've started to take it on the offer, meaning they're buying it, hitting the button on this one. They're just hitting market. And so what we're looking for is divergences or convergences between price and the it's called the cumulative volume delta. We just call it delta. And the way that you have to think about that is, let's say that is the you remember how they used to have the pits, right? Where you buy, sell. So imagine those guys that work there, and they think they're the baddest dudes on the planet, but they know that they don't get it right at every time. This is a prime example of, let's say that they're buying it on the way down, they're buying it on the way down, they're buying it on the way down. You see the delta going up, but you see price going down. If it hits a certain point, they're going to have to capitulate and sell. And so that's kind of, either way, that's what we're looking for. Like let's say that this goes down and they keep taking it on the offer. They accumulate long. Well, what that's telling us is some, like, let's say this is going up. What we're watching for is either this spikes and price spikes with it, or this is telling us that they've been leaning on the bid the whole time. Price comes down, CVD comes down. That means they're orchestrating together. They're shoving price down and they're taking it on the bid. So they're selling to the bid here. Now, it can always look like a ruse, right? What we have to remind ourselves is in every situation, okay, not only can you have someone counter you, you can have someone counter the counter, right? So when we think about like two or three levels into game theory, we have to think that, well, is tit for tat selling and then selling more and selling more? Well, what if tit for tat is sell and then trap the seller and then buy it, right? That would be third level. Um, and so those are the kind of things that we want to be thinking about here as we're moving sideways, right? And if we look at just the 2 minute, look how much noise is right here. Okay, now this, the difference between this one and Joey's is this shows all the noise all the way back from as long as this chart goes. So there's not as much noise, but there is. So is if there's this much noise, we need to be careful. We need to be real freaking careful as to where we trade. Notice the Keltner channels are holding pretty dang well. Okay, so we don't want to trade at mid Keltner. There's a lot of things that we want to wait for. I'm in a wait and see mode today. Yesterday's high 75.65. Let's see what else. I mean, I may not even take a trade today. Who knows? Who knows? Okay. Now here's some. So on these, so here's the entry. Here's where you add, and then here's where the stop level is. Now most people just put their stop right underneath here. How many times you get hit? Every time, right? So we're the guy that hits them. We add when their stop gets hit. So and the way that you calculate this, it's one are 1-to-1 from here to here to the stop, 1-to-1 from the entry to the target. That's why we're getting the one. That's how we're getting the 1-to-1, 1-to-1 to 1 to 1. And so the way that you can put this on, if you don't, if we'll get the indicator for you, but the other way that you can use this is on NinjaTrader, you hit F8 and you can do a fib, which gives you this exact same thing. Look at that. They're going to bring this higher. Oh boy. Okay, so let's go to the 15-minute and let's take a look at what it told us. Ah, look at that. 65 entry, 52 stop, 52 add, 39 stop. That is 26 points. I don't know too many people that can handle a 26 point at 50-to-1 leverage. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go down to the 5-minute. Does it? Did it really just do that as I said it? It did. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to go down where there's only a 20-point stop. Okay. That means you have a 10-point first target. Okay. But these are really sketchy trades in the fact that we are narrow range. We are in major noise. Okay. The 2-minute has 2-minute has a long here, but let's take a look. Let me take the crime scenes off for just a minute. So it has a 10-point stop. Now, the problem with it is we're at Upper Keltner. We're just above yesterday's high. Look how many times they've hit yesterday's high and came back. Okay. I also want to remind everyone the Joey spread is right there at where we're at. Mathematically, there's the either support or resistance. And we want to wait for it to tell us what it's doing. See, because it's coming back through that line. Oh boy. All right, now let me show you what these colors are: red, white, green. Okay, so those are just this other indicator. Oh, wrong one. These are this is an indicator here, and it's called B something. ECGO underscore L. We'll get that to you. Okay, so what these levels are. So okay, so if you just watch this and then watch price, you see how they kind of turn the same color. And white is like green underneath the zero line or red above the zero line. When it's coming back to it, it'll go those colors. And so we just kind of we want to trade kind of with the colors. Okay, so we want to be long in this one. I'm not taking any trades right here. So 66.25, and then you'll add at 63.25 with a stop of 60.25. We got targets up here. And now remember, the reason that we're long is we got a 1-minute long, 2-minute long, 5-minute long, 15-minute long, and the 15-minute goes through price VWAP 200 exactly how we want it. So we're long here at 66.25. Target 1, target 2. And this is what I mean by fractal. Remember, I told you fractals don't just go one way. They have to go both ways. Otherwise, it doesn't work. See how well this is working because all of them are here? And remember, either this one or this one came first. Well, this one or this one. But they were kind of out of where we don't want them. And so we had to wait for it to tell us what it was going to do. And then you want to take the one with the smallest stop on it. And so we're going to see if this hits the 69s. We did bounce. This would be a considered bounce off of 62, even though it looks like we went way below it. It that's noise, right? It's a rounding error for a big company. Even though it's 10 points to you and me, that's $500 per contract. If you've got $10 billion in there, who gives a shit? You're hedged or whatever you're doing. All right, so let's see where we get here. Did we bounce off the 62, 63s correctly? You don't understand about me is I never gave a fuck about a goddamn thing. Folks, we got a new video coming out here soon. Whenever Elijah's done splicing, we'll get it to you. All right, so now your 2-minute has another long 68, 64.25. So you'd add there. You'd add at 65.25. That would be long there. You would have added here, added here. Big stops on this one. And so we'll just take the smaller stops here. You tick Rick. When it gets to 1 tick, you'll pull your stop up. Okay, it went 1 tick, so now your stop is 66.50. There you go. Boom. So right there, Mike, you would have made all the money that you needed to make for the whole day, because you're that is the fractal. How many got it? Hit a Y in the chat. So that is what we're looking for every time. There's no difference. There's no deviation. That every time it goes boom, 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 or boom, 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 boom. These are our entries because they have the smallest stop. So this is a 10 range chart. It's 10 ticks because it runs in quarters. So it's 2.5 points each bar. We have a 3-point 1-to-1 because we want it to either uptick or downtick into the trade. So then it's 3 points. Now you can go 10 ticks if you want to, whatever. Say there's two R, boys and girls. There you go. Get them out. Let's go. Well, that's really loud if I don't have headphones on. Holy shit, man. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, that's the whole trade. There's nothing else to do. There's everything for the whole entire day. If you didn't get it, why not? If you didn't get it, get with your coach. You should have made all the money that you needed to make for the whole entire day. That was the easiest setup in the entire thing. Look at that. There's a bunch of people that got it. Let's go. Let's go. Does that sound better now, Steve? I was talking away from the microphone because when I turn my head, the gain is really far down, and I apologize for that. So that was the whole thing. Okay, that's everything. Yeah. So we'll get you the indicators. We'll get you Ninja Trader indicators, Trading View indicators, and just literally, there's nothing else besides what I just showed you. The hard part is all of the ones that kind of look good. Those are the ones that'll fuck you. But yeah, and so what I keep telling people is all you have to do. Okay, here we go. All right. 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 Let's get down to business. Okay. So everybody, I'm absolutely chilling because here there's several reasons why we gotta just relax. Okay. First of all, we're on narrow range. Okay, we're in narrow range. We're the narrowest range the last 7 days. We're using the 2 minute Keltners. We're at yesterday's high, okay, which is right here. We're at yesterday's close, right below us. Okay. Also, look at the sideways action for hours and hours, right? We don't want to be a part of the agreement in price. We want to be a part of the disagreement in price, right? Notice our cumulative volume delta is basically neutral. I mean, yes, there's a slight upward slope to it, but that's not enough. That's not enough to write home to mama. That is not enough to write home to mama. So we took the highest probability trade we took right here. Everything else is noise, right? We don't want to take a breakout. We don't want to take a breakdown. That's not what we're doing right now. Okay, like look at this 1 minute chart. Yoink. Doink. Nope. Right? You'd be sweating bullets right now. Good, good, good. No, that's not all you have to do. Good question, Dolly. Let's go. No, that's not all you have to do. Good point. Good point. Good point. You don't understand about me is I never gave a about a thing. I wake up in the morning and do my pop. I sit, pull my lean. All right, we're chilling, everybody. We're chilling. Even though they're trying to get VWAP above that deuce. Folks, I am not sure that we want to be participating in any of this fuckery, we'll call it. There's a guy there's a guy that I watch on YouTube and it has nothing to do with trading. He calls it the fucking. This chart is the fucking. Don't ask me how to spell it. I don't know. I would say it's Kening. Now, just to be clear, I would have only taken this trade. We want it as a pullback, right? We want it as a pullback with the fractal. The fucking confirmed. And the guy that I watch has nothing. It has nothing to do with trading. It's just what he calls it. All right, see that one would have stopped out too. And we don't take this one. Who cares if it wins? You guys are form fitting. Not you guys, but other people. They're form fitting the results, right? But you don't understand about me. I forgot that there's music in that intro, Steve. I was like, music? What music? I don't have any music on. 2 minutes playing tricks on us. Yes, it is. Elijah, feel free to move that smaller if you want. Look at that. Yeah, there's one R if you took it. There's one R if you took it. You have a 2 minute long. Ah, this is yuck. This is yuck. Everything is long but the unos momentos grafica. Steve, does the mic sound better? Okay, good. Good, 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 good. All right, so first target there, first target there. All right, I want to remind everyone the 250,000 legacy accounts are back. You have if you purchase one, you have till the 14th to pass it. You have until the 14th to pass it. Here's the link. Use Sage FP at checkout. Apex, excuse me, that's the wrong ones. Apex has the $250,000 legacy accounts. We're going fractal again. We're going fractal again. All right. Did anyone take the 6550 long? Fractally, it's very sound. Look, it goes fractal. It goes 10 range, 1 minute. Okay, it's already 2 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, right? 78 target on the 15 minute, 75 target on the 5 minute, 79 target on the 2, 74.25 target on the 1. P2 is 71.50. Clean, clean, clean. It's cleaner than this one here because it's further down into the W. Your 1 minute said yes. Oh yeah, look at the 1 minute spread. 86.50. All right, 1 minute hit target. All right, there's your 5 minute 1R. Anyone long? Yeah, there's higher highs. All right, let's go over why we were only looking for longs. I'm so glad you asked. Yeah, yeah. I noticed I didn't take a trade. Okay, look at right here. This is what we're looking for. This is what we dream of. This is what we dream of. Okay, all targets have been hit on all of the account. Excuse me, on all of the time frames. The 5 minute and 15 minute said careful shorting, careful shorting. Only goes up. Don't you love it when people say that, Bill? Ah, they just hit a bunch of stops. I was trying for 78. No fill. No fill. 81 filled. You have a buy and balance above. Let's see if they trap them or win. Upper Keltner is T2 on 2 minute. They're leaning on the bid. Oh no, no, no. The actual ones, Elijah. The actual drawdown account number on the account, because I know what they are beforehand. All right, so there's a sell at 74. It just says relax, right? It doesn't say oh get short. It says chill out. Ah, there's your 1R on the sell. Wow. Yeah, I'm just gonna put it on the on my chart. It'll automatically update when I hit reset high water mark. The longs are still in control. Go ahead. All right. Do they keep pushing this higher? I'm reluctant up here, by the way. Bar. 1 minute chart. Uh, the right monitor, Elijah, not the streaming monitor. Yeah, you got it. You got it. All right, let's see it. Let's see what they do with this 80s. Do they come back down to 62 and then push? Hmm. Hurry up and wait. 250, 89, 75. 82, 50, 79, 89, 75. 82, 50, 89, 75. Okay, 82, 50 filled, 82, 50 filled. All right, buy program kicked in. Do they get to keep it going? All right, let's see if they get some stops hit. You got an 81 seller they got to get through. 79 over under and 81 on tape. Okay, out scratch. Okay, because you look at your 1 minute. Who cares if it wins? Who cares if it wins? That's not my money. I'm flat. All right, folks. I'm gonna rip the band-aid off. That's gonna do it for me today. That is enough of this nonsense. Okay, I'm up 1 tick. And then I called a good one. I called a good one right off the opening bell. So you should be a little bit yeah, Elijah. There's 2 things I need you to do. Go ahead and run that new code. Okay, and then Martin sent us a new crime scene. And so if you could do those 2 things when I walk away, that'd be awesome. All right, everybody, we're going to switch over to x.com @the_SageFT for the stream. Peace.